Hello and welcome to Caring for Me, Caring for You, a thought and a prayer for the week. Let me begin by saying Happy Mother's Day. Yes, it's May 11th, 2025, and today here in America we are celebrating Mother's Day. And we celebrate mothers here on earth, mothers who have transitioned. We celebrate mother figures. So whatever you may be experiencing today, let us celebrate together. When I think of Mother's Day, I certainly do think of my mother. I remember also the role that she played in introducing me to caregiving. When she was in high school, her mother was told by 7 doctors that she didn't have long to live, that she and her husband, my grandfather, needed to prepare my mother for a life without her mother, and she was in high school, so they sent her off to high school in Milwaukee. And it began a period where my mother was to learn and to do a great deal of caregiving, which was something that she carried through her life nearly until she was 100. Even when she was in the assisted living, she was busily taking care of other people and, frankly, doing some programs on family caregiving. She would take some of our videos from Emblem Health and she would play them for the people. I don't know whether it was caregiving or a bit of Mama Rose, but that was Mother. She was always there doing that. And as for her mother, well, my grandmother ended up being one of my best friends, one of the people closest to me as I grew up. Yes, she managed to outlive all 7 of the doctors. And one of the things that she prided herself on was she went to the funerals of all 7 doctors, and I went with her to the last one. Grandma had a wonderful sense of living and life. She'd accepted what they'd said. She was prepared for it. She was a woman of faith, but she also knew that she had an inside spirit, and she connected so well with it, and she saw it in everyone else. She was a woman of great love. She was a wonderful grandmother. I think of her a great deal, and I'm glad she was my grandmother. Also, as I think of mothers and I think of the women, in the world of family caregiving, it has originally been the women who led the way, who have been the caregivers. It automatically fell to them or to the unmarried daughters, and then it went on to some of the LGBT children. But it began with mothers and mother figures, people who took on living the golden rule. And I remember so well when I first, now it's 30 some years ago, when I first got into the world of family caregiving and was learning about it, learning its many faces, exploring what it really meant, that it wasn't just one group of people, but all people. There were so many wonderful people, so many wonderful women. Dr. Carol Levine from United Hospital Fund and her colleague Susan Reinhardt from AARP. I remember many, many times sitting with Marge Cantor and sitting with, I wasn't going to do names because I can get very forgetful on that, but so many others through the Council of Senior Centers and Services, people who had made such great contributions, women, social workers, all dedicated to support. And I stand and I have stood on their shoulders for many, many years. And I now invite others to stand on mine because we're passing it on. That's what it's about. And I'm very grateful. But on this Mother's Day, I particularly wanted to take a moment to share. And I had a very wonderful experience last night. I was going out to get something at the store, and I ran into a colleague of mine who is on the committee at the United Nations for the Convention of Older Persons, something we've been working on for 20 years. A convention is really a statement. It's not a gathering of people. It's a UN term, and there are many things that our UN speak. But it's a document on older persons and the rights that they have. And one of the things that we, as the NGO Committee on Aging, have been doing is very much focusing on older women, many who have given their lives in service, but then become forgotten themselves. So it's been very much something that we focused on. And so I ran into Jack and he said to me, "What's been happening in Asia?" And I began to tell him about the second anniversary from Sahaja and how indeed it was a great number of the older women who helped begin the Sahaja Foundation in Bali and who are active volunteers and members. So he said to me, "Can you write me a quick little note on it?" So I was very happy to do that. Anything that we can do to acknowledge, to name, to give thanks for all that has been done, because it is mothers and mother figures who have led the way in family caregiving. We've learned a great deal and we say thank you. And today, as we celebrate, it's very appropriate in our weekly book, Peace Be Still, Prayers and Affirmations for Family Caregivers. The name of the prayer is celebration. So join me, please, as together we celebrate mothers and mother figures who have been extraordinarily important in our lives. In everything, give thanks. O Lord, as a family caregiver, I pray for the willingness and wisdom to celebrate you in everything, and to keep celebrating the small victories, not just the big ones. Let my care recipient and me rejoice in the small successes, and in them find peace, joy, and unity. Let us celebrate each seemingly small accomplishment, larger because of the challenges overcome in doing them. Let us celebrate these steps to wellness and positive caring, one step at a time. We are climbing the mountain of wellness, health, and wholeness. We are blessed to do it together as caregiver and care recipient. And most importantly, as spiritual beings, partnered and sustained by you, our divine source of all good and our eternal home. And it is so we celebrate, we give thanks, and we give thanks to those who have taught us to care. Amen and amen. Happy Mother's Day, and my thanks to each and every one of you. As we always say, onward in love and caregiving. Namaste. God bless. And I look forward to seeing you real soon. Happy Mother's Day.